Welcome to the Eldenring Remembrance tier list. Now, now you may notice, Puffy, you sound different. And you'd be correct. This is because I do. You see, I'm going to put that in there right for a minute. You see, after streaming Deltarune and putting on some deeper voices, I felt a bit of a stirring, and I decided to go and do some thought. You know I'm transgender, and that hasn't changed. However, I have found myself, let's say, thinking, and I've somewhat evolved my gender identity. I am now bi-gender. Please answer me with she, her, and he, hims. Do as you will. Trust me, I will still. I'm not changing, but I am going to start using this voice because it is comfortable and I think articulate. I'm going to use it for streaming such that I don't sound like I'm whispering and doing a cracky little voice. Doesn't mean that I've changed personality-wise. I'm still going to go, yippee! But as far as the main voice I use, this is the one it will be. Now, I've been kind of scatting on a little bit about bullshit, but that isn't really the point of this stream. The point of this stream, as I think I kind of alluded to, is that I will be talking about Eldenring Remembrance bosses. It's like my lips are smacking when I do that because it doesn't show my hands because I don't want to use a webcam. That's funny. Okay, right. Okay. Where was I? Oh, brain, hold on. Oh, right. Right in front of me. Now, with this handy dandy informational guide, also known as a tier list, I will be talking about Eldenring Remembrance bosses. I will be ranking them based on a few aspects, and also, and screw this ad, dude. Screw this ad. Boo ads. Boo ads. Anyway, ignore it the best you can. Now, we will be ranking them in 5 tiers. Ignore that one, that's extra. Thy strength wins a crown. 'Twas nobly fought till now. Arise, ye tarnished. Put thy foolish ambitions to rest. May chaos take the world. These are the tiers we will be using. Alright. Yippee! As I have described, this is obviously the top of the tier list, and this is the bottom of the tier list. And please make sure to join the Discord before we begin. Now, we will be discussing a few. I can only do this one in short bits, and I'll save that. Right. Now, we'll be discussing them based on a few categories. 1. Lore. 2. How actually are they? Are they funny? Are they interesting? Do I fuck with them? 3. Gameplay. Is it actually fun to play them? Like, genuinely. 4. I already lost count. This is more just kind of bullshitting. Difficulty. You may say, it's a Soulsborne, you shouldn't worry about difficulty. No, that's for cowards. You see, in a Soulsborne, yes, the game's hard. But it should strive for good difficulty, not bullshit. Like, Malenia is a good boss. Spoilers. But if we had to fight her as the first Remembrance boss, this would not be a good boss. Because we would not have had the abilities necessary, or the skills acquired, built up, to reasonably beat her. Or is the boss broken in some way that makes it really dumb to fight? Are they gimmicky? How hard is it actually to get back to them? So on and so on. Note, this has nothing to do with the actual remembrance itself, as in the rewards you get from killing them. This will solely focus on them, which is why Bale is counted even though he's not a remembrance boss. I'll try to remember him. Now, I've fought all of these bosses except for you, Placidus Axe. Yeah, I only realized that after I already started run 2 that I forgot to fight Placidus Axe. So I'll have to rectify that at some point. But either or. Point is, I fought all of them. I got a good feeling of them. I know how they are. And it's not just with my funny shield build. I fought them before with other builds. With a strength build, I fought them with an intelligence build, I fought them with a faith build. I fought all of these guys. All over the place, up and down. Especially this goober right here. Who we'll talk about in just a minute, but not now. What's the deal? So I understand how they are. And may we finally shut the hell up and start with the stream. I think, despite his ease, despite the fact that, of course, he's easy, that in this category, his strength warrants a crown. And now let me explain. He's easy, right? But that's a point. He's the first boss. And guess what? As far as teaching you how to fight, and also still being difficult for a new player, he does good. He's better than Margit, I'll tell you that. His attacks are well telegraphed, slow, but still punishing, and not entirely. He also still has a few fast attacks in the mix to really show you how it goes. He also has a second phase, which shows you that, hey, bosses are going to transition to a second phase. He's a fun boss. Now, he's easily cheesed. He doesn't have many range attacks. Honestly, if you just fight him as a mage who just keeps running away, it's only once the second phase starts that you start getting a little bit difficult, but even then, as long as you're not a complete brain-dead idiot, you should be fine. But that's not all. He also does a good job lore-wise and story-wise. He is a vile man. He's weak. He's cowardly. And yet he holds on meagerly to his golden lineage, to his heritage, no matter how dulled it is. This man, I should probably pull pictures of these guys, by the way. Godric the Grafted, the Shafted. Godric the Shitted. Look at this man. Look at him. Look at him. Bear witness. Bear witness. Ugly man. Ugly. Ugly guy. Bro got a whole bunch of arms of tarnished here. Bro steals the strength of other men. Also, cool art. Look at that fucking bit. And he does this all to be strong. He grovels at your feet. Well, not yours, but at the feet of Melania. His survival is predicated entirely on Morgoth. He's... cool. Look, even the Grace of Gold, while present, is still kind of... yeah. Anyway, point being. This is Godric. Ooh, nice art. You make him look way too cool in that. He's a loser. He escaped Lane Dell by... you make him look too pretty. By dressing up as a feeble woman escaping Lane Dell during the war. He came here to this ruinous castle that once belonged to Godfrey. He truly is a sorrowful sight. And I love it. He laughs maniacally while fighting you. This is a perfect image. And for that, I think, also by the way, I'm downloading the VODs. Probably do that right now. Download. I say, without beyond a shadow of a doubt, he belongs in thy strength warrants a crown. He is a great boss. Genuinely. No, well, not as far as actually hiring you. I mean, he's such a bad boss in that regard. That when Morgoth dies, Morgoth's good friend, Margit, asks him, can I go to his funeral? And he says, no. And he's so enraged that he quits on the spot and never returns. Trust me, it's in the lore. Now, who was also in the lore is Queen Renala. Of the full lunar, of the full moon and such. Queen of the full moon and such. Now, this is going to be a bit of a... is this fucking AI? Lord. This might be considered a bit of a... you know... a bit controversial, but... how do I put this? Fucker. Now, let me tell you why. First off, getting to her is a bitch and a half. First off, once you beat the midway boss of the Raya Lucaria dungeon, you're set with a bit of a problem. To get to her boss, you have to first jump up do a little bit of light platforming, then run past an Indiana Jones boulder. Now, this sounds hard, but once you observed it a little and realize it moves on a direct path, you can get by it easily. And plus, if you do a little bit of exploration, Monty Python Spamalot, that's interesting. Yuck. You can easily just kill them and boom, no problem. Honestly, for that reason, it's better to do that than try to go through the door that you can unlock that leads you to an arena that goes past a bunch of enemies who respawn. These enemies are random. Fuck them. For that reason, You should not try that. You should instead focus on just making your way to her normally. Um, sorry, anyway. Now, once you get to her, and once you get past Moongrum, you have to get on a little elevator that goes all the way up, and then you go through her door. Now, this is a problem, because this is a long walk, and even if you've killed Moongrum, you've made sure to set the elevator down each time you go use it, and the rock is not a problem, it still takes valuable time, a minute almost. A minute that the information that was seared into your brain starts to disappear. There's a reason why this game switched to just having you respawn right outside rather than making you have to do a fucking boss one, because they want you to actually, do the boss, actually try the boss, not just run around again and again and again and fucking AI bullshit. Cringe. Lol. There's a lot of AI here. Jesus. Yeah, make your baby wear this so that, and you can start hating them before they even say their first word. My wretched son who I hate. Can you tell I like Phil Fiznam Morg? I like his shit. So, anyway. Now, once you get to her boss fight, what you gotta do is you gotta beat the shit out of children. And you have to do this each time you try to fight. You don't get right back into the boss, you have to deal with a bunch of bullshit. Now, once we get to the boss, it's fine. It's very spammy, but fuck it. This teaches you that there's gonna be a lot of bosses that are very focused on spamming projectiles at you. Better to teach them how to do this early on. If you can learn how to dodge her spells, you should be golden. And that's until she summons a fucking Bloodhound Knight. And I hate that thing. I hate that thing. Because no matter what, it kills me. Or it fucking annoys me. The rest of them I can handle. Even the 5 wolves that she sends, relatively simple to deal with. Relatively. During the whole chaos of it, well, it is just that, chaos. But that's not even really the bad part. The bad part is that you feel like you're just slamming against the wall again and again and again and again. Each time having to die to the same shit that you try to avoid, but then some random bullshit comes up, which that's unavoidable in this game. And you have to run through a fucking... Also... What? Did I label this one as Deltarune? Deltarune? Oh, shit. Ah. Psyduckman. Sorry. I'll have to change that. By the way, my voice is different because of reasons that you'll see if you rewatch the chat. Okay, what the fuck? Fucking hell. Would you play Omori anytime? Oh my god, yes, I fucking love Omori. Like, hold on, pause the stream, pause the stream. I fucking love Omori. I fucking love Omori. Yippee! I fucking love Omori with an absolute passion. And I will tell you this, gamer, if I start putting money into these streams, one of the first two things I'll invest in is one, an actual mic, so I don't sound like, "Hello, everybody, I am from ancient Greece." If you understood that, then great. I think it probably sounded better than me normally trying to speak on stream. Oh, epilepsy! You get the idea. True, why didn't they release Omori 2? Anyway, point being, I'm not here for that. Baby. Fucking child. Baby. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta quickly download. Create. Upload. But yeah, one of the first two things I'll get is an actual mic and the ability to capture footage from my PlayStation, because I have Omori on the PS4, along with a lot of other games I'd like to play, but, you know, I kind of, yeah. I've already bought Omori twice, once first time and once the second time because stupid bullshit. I'm not doing it a third time. Deltarune stream tomorrow. Oh wait. You get the idea. No, it's not made for kids. Public. Okay, I'll get back to the thing in just a minute, but yeah. I want to play Omori. It's a fact. One day. Until then, you will have to deal with me playing a bunch of other games I have on my Steam. Such as Deltarune. Deltarune tomorrow. Don't forget that. Ooh, this is some cute art. I like this art. I'm downloading it. This is cute art. This is cute. This is cute. I like this. Okay. But yeah. I'll get to that one day. That day is not today. Today I'm talking about Eldenring Rememberance bosses. And I'll relist it as Eldenring on the stream. I had a bit of a brain fart. A bit of a brain fart. Okay, now. But yeah, I've discussed why I don't like Nala as a boss. Now, that's unfortunate because as a character, I like her. You know, she's nice. She's neat. She's divorced. Terminally divorced. I think she does good for the story. And, you know, she's fine with that. But I can't, in good faith, put her in anywhere above the bottom. Because for a long time, when I was playing the game, I dreaded having to fight her. Even if I'm able to get through her boss in 1 to 2 attempts now, because I'm good at video games now, she still ain't the shit for me. Let's leave it at that. Now, General Radon. S tier, baby! Anyway. Okay. Gameplay wise. Fun boss. He's one of the few gimmicks that are actually cool. You have the choice to fight him on his own, or you can do fucking World of Warcraft type shit on him and summon the horde to basically kick his ass. Which is why his gimmick is good. It's optional. You can fight him on his own ground, on your own terms, with your own two hands. And with that, he is a fun boss. He's a pretty medium speed, does a lot of damage to you. You can kind of just sort of get under his attacks. His attacks are better at wiping out waves of enemies. But either or, his attacks are pretty fair. Honestly, by the time that you've beaten him, and that you get to him, you should have the tools in which to actually challenge him and have with ease. So keep it at that. Now his lore. Let me tell you this. He is skateboarding on a horse while beating your ass while holding back the stars and all from the hospice. This man, this absolute Giga Chad. Not that one. This absolute Giga Chad said, "Ah, shit, I'm too big. Well, I'm not going to force my horse to hold my ass. I'm going to learn how to use the..." No, it was Leonard, fuck. "I'm going to learn how to use the stars so I am weightless." And motherfucker, he did. And this is actually a part of the lore. Because this man, after learning to hold back the stars, after learning to bend gravity to his will, realized, "Ah, shit, if the stars keep moving, then this city that is pretty cool, Celia, will fucking die, explode." And so he said, "I know it's gonna piss off my sister and my brother and my whole family, but but the stars are gonna start listening now, and I'm telling them to stop." You think, yeah, you get this? Good shit, good shit. Hold on, this is slander. Leonard said, "Yes, my general. Trust me." Right, now, where was I? Alright, now back to where we were. Yeah, this is him. This is an accurate representation of the boss. Anyway. Yeah. You. Okay, so. Let's see. Bro is kind. His castle is designed in such a way that he doesn't have his own keep where he just sleeps at, away from his guys, my boys. He sleeps with the rest of the homies. Even as his ass is huge and he takes up like 10 beds, it don't matter. He sleeps with the homies. With his socks on at all times. Trust me. Now, if Omori is good. Where was I? Right. 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 When he was fighting Melania, motherfucking Melania, and her arm came off, both said, put your arm back on, put your money up, not your funny up. And he waited like a Chad. This man is such a Chad that when he got Mega Ultra AIDS, from space. His homies said, "Shit, we got you," and decided to one give up their life such to make sure that the scarlet rot doesn't spread to the rest of the lands between. And two, every year for 400 years, they would hold a battle in which the strongest warriors would come to kick Radon's ass to try and give him a warrior's death. And in show of good faith, they put all their weapons up on these strings to show that they will not attack you on this day. Truly, everyone respects him, and I do mean everyone. Even his sister and brother, who are kind of pissed at him for holding back the stars. Rykard has a picture of Radon in the manor, and I don't think Ronnie had too much bad ill will towards her brother. This is because Radon was a Chad. Radon was a good man, a kind man, an absolute Chad. Doing all of this, his body and mind have been completely tattered and destroyed by the Scarlet Rot, such that man is like a wild dog beast who just be eating motherfuckers, friend and foe. So much so that he ain't waiting for you to show up to kick your ass because he don't care no more. Because he don't got the brain capacity to do it. But even with that, he has still not turned on his horse. He still cared for his horse. He protected his horse from the Scarlet Rot. I tell you, when Melania plunged her blade into his flesh and released the Scarlet Rot, I think his first decision was probably to grab Leonard and put him behind him. This man loves his horse. He is a kind man. This is such. It's such. This is not just a mindful decision. This is just second nature to him. His kindness extends here, even at the end of his wits. By God, give General Radon his warrior's death, and we'll continue to talk about him later. But I think with all that in mind, you will agree that he deserves to be here. Next up, Morgoth. Right. So, what's the deal with Morgoth? Morgoth is just like how he was when he was Margit and he stopped you from getting to Godric until you beat him, is kind of the halfway boss. Essentially, you've had several hours of game time, of playing through the game, of beating bitches up and getting weapons and such, to experiment, to build a build, to get good, get an actually good build. And this is the test. He stands in the way of what looks to be your final goal. And he tells you, are you ready? And you know what you gotta do? You gotta go up to him and kick his ass. Now, as far as his boss goes, it's good. It's good. It's like the first time around. It's hard, challenging, but not unfair. He's fast, but this is not a hard boss. This is not a terrible boss. This is not a overly difficult boss. This is a good boss. Just put it that. Lore wise, I love that this guy, even though he has one of the best reasons to say "fuck the Earth Tree," all my homies hate the Earth Tree, he has decided to actually become its biggest defender. A child of America who is cursed to be an omen, which is irony. For reasons you'll see. And was forced to stay in the sewers for a long time until he finally showed up and said, I am the king of not Stormwind, of Lanedale. And I'm going to protect the old lord. Even though man is out of his depth and does not understand it, the fucking Golden Order itself is telling me, yo, let her die. But bro is like, no. Maybe if I keep doing this, mommy will love me finally enough. But bro, she will not. Your father will. He'll show up and actually give you a nice firm handshake and tell you, good. Good job, boy. And then you die. Anyway, motherfucker will tell you that you're a bitch till his last breath, and I respect that. So, where to put him? I think he goes here. He's not... I am not going to put him here unless I feel like he deserves it afterwards, but yeah. Now, a bit of a stoppage. This person and this person. The most who the fuck cares bosses that you could possibly fight. Both of them have a problem. Unoriginality. This guy is basically the same as the one you fought before, except now they're slightly stronger and they're at a slightly later area. Kind of nonchalant too. But at least they're the strongest version. This guy ain't even. This is the first Astel you can fight, and you can find another one later in the game in the Consecrated Snowfield who's harder than him. You're not even the strongest Astel, yet you're the Remembrance? Huh? That makes no fucking sense. Anyway, both of these guys are kind of okay. I don't hate them. He has a pretty decent boss. It's nothing much. His boss is decently challenging, fair I'd say, but the fact that, he's not even the hardest to stealth does hold it back. Lore-wise, I don't know, this guy's a god, this guy is Bambi, whatever. This is Bambi's dad, and this guy is basically God's way of saying that he's pissed at humanity, so just sees it at the earth. This is literally the one that comes to Earth that Radon was trying to stop, which I think is cool lore, but again, you are not even the hardest to use. Now, I might bump him up, depending on how this whole list turns out. I might bump him up to 'Twas Nobly Fought till now, which is A tier. S, A, B, C, F. But anyway, another boss that's kind of in a weird spot. Rich Dragon 40 stacks. I didn't even pick up pictures of you guys. Who cares? This is him. Trust me. Now, his lore. Let's start with the positive. His lore is pretty cool. This guy fought through hands with. Oh, it's cute. It's adorable. Oh, it's adorable. I have no idea what it is, but it's adorable. It's cute. Rich Dragon. That's an adorable ass dragon. Genuinely. Apparently it's legitimately called also cringe. Apparently it's legitimately called Rich Dragon. That's cool. That's cute. This is cute. You'll be important for later. Trust me. But yeah. This guy threw hands with Godwin and lost. It was the end of the war against the dragons in Lanedale. But Godwin, being the kind man he is, said instead of killing him and throwing hands with ancient dragons for the rest of time, decided to spare him. And immediately like that, they became homies. They became the best friends. Right, now that they're best friends, they are like blood brothers, blood brothers. So much so that when Godwin got murked by Ronnie in Soul alone, and started getting all, how do you say, not who I fucking meant. Oh wait, hold on. I keep adding an R apparently. No idea who that is. Got all fucked up, dude. Looking shit. Let me sue him. Oh my god, what the fuck? More cursed face? I'll save your picture too. I'm saving a lot of pictures here. Haven't heard much about Desk Blood, let's be honest. Anyway, he decided to go into his dream and possibly fight it, but he lost. And as a result, Bro got super AIDS. It really fucked him up. Anyway, the area is cool. Trust me, it's really cool. They did relatively little with it, and I really wish that we actually got to fight Godwin and not his homie, and not his dream homie. It's like, don't worry, homie, I'll go in your dreams and I'll save you. Homie, I failed you. Cringe. But he's still cool. Relatively cool. His, let's see, blackened death roots have covered up his body. His have covered up and consumed his not cement, gravel scales, leaving only his golden flesh behind. And the death root. Bro is, I'm not even sure if he's the strongest death ancient dragon, which is unfortunate. He's not even an original boss. He's a lich dragon, not lich dragon. He's an ancient dragon boss, which you see Sevlov, and you fight Sevlov, but he's not even the hardest version of. And yeah. Also, when you think Lich Dragon, you think about the Ghost Flame Dragon that you see in the DLC. Seriously. It's kind of a letdown, but whatever. For that, I've put him here. He's not a terrible boss, but he's a letdown. Okay. Let's talk about someone who's not a letdown. Praetor Rykard, number 15. The last thing you want is to become one with the... become family with the... Let's see. With the Lord of Blasphemy. But that might be just what you get. I can still quote that. That's funny. Okay, so getting to him, pretty cool. Original boss, still cool. Cool dungeon, cool shit, cool lore. Bro is betrayal manifest. Bro is so ambitious that he said, I'm gonna let this snake eat me, so I become one with the snake, so I can become all powerful. Slight miscalculation, slight misinput. Calm the fuck down. Now it's more like that you fight the snake that has taken on his identity, and his knights realized that and tried to fight him, but he killed them all and ate them. His wife decided to. His wife is in denial, and is in a bit of a thing. It is a whole thing. Anyway, this man is doing war crimes against the Alban Orcs. Couldn't have happened to a better person. But at least he's kind of funny. Like, he is a good boss. He's a gimmick boss fight, but he's one that also goes well because they give you a weapon, they give you a fun little time, they just tell you, throw it, slam it at right card, and as long as you're not a weak little mage build that that can't take a hit, but also requires their big staffs that they can't that are now useless in this battle, you should be fine. It's a good boss fight. Trust me. He's a good boss fight. Seriously, he's funny. Trust seriously. Seeing this man's face on the back of a snake, but also very grotesque and cool. Honestly, everything surrounding him is pretty cool. So we're putting him here. All right, the fire giant. Most people will agree the fire giant is not their favorite. He's a gimmick boss that essentially says, "I'm a big guy with big attacks that are very slow, but can have a big area of effect that can, especially in the second phase, can just randomly get your ass." The fight's more about endurance, but that's not fun. Having to essentially smack his heels and then smack wherever else on his last second phase, whether it be you manage to get his hands or you just hit the back of his heels for a few minutes. And it is a few minutes. That is not overstatement. That is not an overstatement. That is not overstatement. Anyway, bro, just walking in here with a fucking whole ass face. I mean, he's a cool design. Trust me. Everything about him, aside from the boss, is cool. Like he's the last of his kind, literally left behind after a big war, such that he can guard the ruinous flame, so that it doesn't come back to bite them in the ass. Also, there's a lot of AI. Dear God. I don't know, dude. I wouldn't call him perfectly sculpted. He's long. He's very weirdly proportioned. Anyway, he's the last guy. He's really depressing. He's absolutely covered in battle scars. His leg is in a stint, and literally the entire first phase is you attacking it until it fucking breaks. And that cutscene's cool. He literally just rips it off and gives it to his god, and then boom, big eyeball, and his second face. Unfortunately, coolness factor doesn't save him here because he is a long, drawn-out fight that overstays its welcome. Trust me. And if you're a mage who relies on MP, you're gonna have a lot of problems here because you're gonna run out of FP, and then you're done for. So yeah, get a either get a very like efficient FP like strategy, FP efficient strategy, or just nuke him with whatever you got. This man's resistances are way too much too. Like he's immune to fire. He's immune to like he's strong against fire. He's strong against ice. He's strong against like basically everything. The only things he's not strong against necessarily is magic. Pretty much all status effects don't even kill him, and they do it so slowly too. He overstays his welcome, and that is not an overstatement. I'm putting him here because he's not a terrible boss. There are terrible bosses, trust me. Genuinely terrible. Awful. But this is not one of them. He just sucks, kind of. Now, Malekith. Now, he is the second big shot. Stop you dead in your tracks and test your build boss, you know? Except even more so by hold on. He asks you, "Are you ready for the end game?" And that's basically the problem. Well, not a problem with him, but that's what you gotta solve. Your build has to be good, like genuinely do good damage, and you have to be able to actually show that you can dodge his attacks and punish effectively. Even when you're using a bullshit build, you still have to be smart. And when he pulls out the destined death, that's also kind of a way that tells you dodge his attacks or else, because you will die. Anyway, he's a cool boss. He killed the Glowmite Queen and now contains the Rune of Death within him, and that's why he requires death 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 root. He needs it. He's so hungry. He's a very hungry Nintendog that Miracle left alone in her DS. Anyway, he is a cool boss. He's fast. His attacks can be a little bit fucky, but honestly, they aren't bad. They're fair enough, I'd say. The first phase can be bullshit, though. Actually, it can be bullshit when it comes to the pillars, because sometimes his attacks are blocked by them, and sometimes he just straight up doesn't. Sometimes I kind of wish that the pillars weren't there, because then you're told don't try to bullshit behind his attacks. Learn how to dodge them, which can be a little hard. I don't know. I swear to God, his clawing the fucking ground attack is always random and bullshit. I swear. Anyway, he's a good boss. He is. Let's see. He has really good armor. Trust me. Yeah, this guy is cool. I swear to God. Okay. Next. Godfrey / Horaloo. Peak. Just peak. This is him, basically. No, this is him. He's a giant fucking wrestler. First, he's fighting you with his his lore. Bro is like a. Okay, I should probably actually look at him. Actually, okay. Bro is a barbarian from the Badlands. Not Radiant Gold Mask. Like, holy shit. I'm just gonna let this stay on screen. Trust me. Sigma Male grind set. Man is clenching his fist. Trust me. Okay. Anyways, so yeah. Anyway, America's like, I need a strong baddie who can. I need a bad bitch who's so strong, it can help me bring my reign onto the lands between and fight all my opponents. And so she grabs this scruffy little guy and says, I'll love him and feed him and name him George. Except she named him Godfrey, and he did a good job. She became the first Elden Lord and defeated all of her enemies. And man loves boss fighting so much that in order to keep his bestial nature at bay, they gave him a big cat. Dads fathers when they see a cat. Fine, but you'll have to take care of him. 5 minutes later, me and the cat, who I love. This, like, Siraj is literally biting into him. To keep his bloodlust at bay. This is why at the beginning of this second phase, he says, you serve me well. And fucking kills him. And, yeah. So that you will now be fighting Horaloo. And also he'll be covered in blood. It's like Turkish oil wrestling or whatever it's called. Bro needs to be tits out wrestling your ass covered in blood. Anyway, back time of the Elden Lord. After he defeated all the bosses and decided that he was that there was no worthy opponent left, he got depressed. So depressed that God straight up said, "Damn, you're sad. Not even I can help you," and left him. And man, his soldiers loved him so much that they got so depressed too that they also became like this. They were called Tarnished, and they were forced to leave. Bro decided to then take up the position as Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, and Bro had another daughter. This man is so cool. Radon, the Giga Chad, loves this man. He fashioned his entire thing around this man. That's how cool you know he is. That Radon idolizes this man. Just think about that. I honestly wish we could have gotten his full like great axe rather than what the fuck? Who the fuck are you, Quimby Simpsons looking ass? I wish we got his full axe and not the broken one, which is kind of cool though. Anyway. So, where was that? Oh yes, right. This man comes in here with a big cool ass axe. Now, after you've done all this shit, he shows up and is like, "Damn, my son did a good job. Good job, boy." It's like, you're the motherfucker that's been making a big problem. Like Metro Man, high on the spot. When he cracks his knuckles and his fucking feet fart. I don't think that's what happened, but you get the idea. You fight his ass. Bro is telling you that you fought well. When you beat his ass, he tells you that you deserve this. This man is so cool. If you were to mod the game and control Godfrey and fight Sir Gideon Ofnir, him saying, "Tarnished cannot be a lord, not even you. Cannot kill a god, cannot be Elden Lord, not even you." It makes more sense because this is Godfrey. This is the guy who was the first Elden Lord. This man is a Giga Chad of all Giga Chads. And I say this because, again, Radon loved this man. Truly a good boss. His first phase, pretty good. Like, listen, you got a bit of a practice run with Goldfrey. First phase, really good. Second phase, a little bit of crazy, but you know what? Good shit. Good shit. You can see I have a type, in more ways than one. Okay. Where is it? The Elden Beast. The first phase is pretty cool, because Radagon, Radicon, the second Elden Lord. America's other half. Good boss. I honestly think that they should have just said fuck it and made you only fight Radagon. I think a boss which has a second phase that is too radically different is a bad thing. Because now instead of having to remember one boss, you had to remember two bosses. I think they should have just said fuck it to the Elden Beast and just made you fight Radagon. Like, make this be like that, a real plin plon. That wasn't how it goes. Plin plon. Type shit. Honestly, good boss. Elden Beast not so much. Honestly, he just be running around, being a big guy. Honestly, for most of his attacks, if you just hang out right in his general vicinity, maybe even right behind him, you've pretty much got it. Except for random bullshit, and he just randomly crucifies your ass. Like Elden Beast. Also, bro doing that. Look, he has lore. He has good lore. Like, this guy literally hit the earth. That's probably what caused the Lands of Shadows, He hit the earth around. He hit the lands between, separating the lands between, and creating that giant crater. Actually, you know what? Now I think about it, his body kind of looks like the lands between, if you think about it. I don't got any good graphics. Hold on. Hold on. Good enough. John Eldenring. Elden John. Trust me. This is him. Elden John. This is also Elton John. Trust me. Anyway, look, fighting the Elder Beast is not that great. It's an okay boss. Look, it's a good boss, stapled to an okay boss, which rounds about to kind of a eh, but like a high eh. I might even reconsider to move up one of these guys to this and put him right here, but I don't know. Okay, let's talk about these guys. Well, not yet. First off, Moog. Mogwin is a good boss. It feels like you're fighting Godfrey again, or like you're fighting a much simpler boss, you know? His attacks are slow, but they can still do a lot of damage. And also, you can never, unlike fighting Godric, where you can kind of just get out of his range, you're never out of Mogwin range. Bro is able to kill you anywhere, especially in the second phase. Now, the bullshit where it's like you have to go get the with his Nihil, where you have to do this whole thing, is kind of annoying, but fuck it. It only kind of buffs him down a little bit. Aside from that, he's a great boss. His lore is cool. The switcheroo where we all thought that he was on the Epstein Island until he succeeded against the molestation allegations investigations. He's a cool boss, genuinely. Pro is straight up Satan. I'm putting him right here with his brother. Even though I think his boss fight is better than his brother's, I think the fact that he had to go chase down this whole thing to be able to fight him without dying is kind of bullshit. And finally, Melania. Oh my god, I almost forgot you again. I mean, he looks like the side of a... He looks like the side of a metalhead's van. He looks like a power metal like album. Actually, most of this game looks like a power metal album cover. Anyway, he's pretty cool. He was a long time ago. Okay. He was a long time ago. Elden Lord to the time of dragons. And then when Dragon God left, he was like, damn, I'm gonna stay here forever and wait for him. He's like a sad dog who's waiting at the door. Some guy came to fight him. Probably because of the fact that, you know, he decided to stay and not do his job for so many years. He won, but not before losing like half of his heads. Which we'll get to later. We will get to later. He's a neat boss. The run to get to him is annoying. Trust me. You have to do this whole little thing. It is stupid. Why do we need to do this? I mean, his boss suite is cool. Like, you're literally fighting this man out of time. That is cool. And a lot of his boss fight is cool. You know, him flying around and shit, disappearing, then reappearing. But it's never unfair. It's completely fair. When you fight him, he is fair. Mostly. I mean, his fucking lasers do get a little bit funny, but you should trust me, it's not unfair. This is what an ancient dragon boss fight should look like. I think he's a good boss. Not particularly great. He's cool as shit. But I think the best thing to come out of him was a later boss that we'll talk about later. but we'll cover that later. Okay. Melania. Where the fuck is she? Oh, there she is. Melania is a boss that that completely trust me here is completely fair. Yes, when she hits you, and she hits you a lot, because she is very fast, she heals. She does a lot of damage. But she is completely fair. If you dodge her, know how to win, or just... And even if you're not a fast player, you can still fuck with her. Just get a heavy poise breaking weapon that also has like a lot of fire or bleed damage, and guess what? You can win. It's fucking easy. And even if you don't, do what I did on my first time. I actually beat her like without issues, where I fought her as a mage and just circled around the arena, dodging her carefully for like 5 minutes, trying my best not to get murdered. And if I have like 3 hits maximum, and if I get hit more than that, I die. I barely was able to defeat her. Trust me. Oh, and trust me, the trying to learn how to deal with the waterfowl was a whole ordeal, but it is not unfair. It's a little stupid, but you can still win. And her lore, even though I hate her as a character kind of because of what she did, that she followed the instructions of her brother and a lot of shameful shit. She was still loyal to the end. And I respect that. I should start looking up these characters and then memes. Melania memes. Her her song's good. I haven't really spoken about the soundtrack for all these battles, but they're good. She's good. That is annoying. She's fun. She's cool. I'll need to actually sit down and do a I'll need to actually do a dexterity run. Tell me if you want to see that. Join the Discord and tell me if you want that shit. This is a cute one. This is cute. This is cute. Mickey was like, I want to get on the thing. And she said, don't worry. I'll be with you. My queen, you were too shit. What the fuck is this? Anyway, I just think that the Let Me Solo Her guy is essentially a good microcosm of this entire game. Bitches are difficult, but this game wants you to become bullshit. You need to. Oh, this is actually pretty cute. That's actually pretty adorable. Genuinely. This game. Well, this is also cute. This is also cute. Like, oh man, man, I don't hate her. She's good. I just like Radon so much, and I'm mad at what Mikola did so badly that man it kind of went to her. Thy bunga befits a bunga. Where the fuck am I finally taking this? Lol. Anyway. So yeah. She is a great boss. Genuinely. She belongs here. Alright, on to the DLCs. Starting with you. I think this is a good boss fight to start you off. They're simple, they're easy. Some of their shit's a little bit bullshit. Like his model's all over the place because it's literally two dudes in a trench coat. But it's not unfair. Not entirely, at least. It's not bad. It's a worthy opponent. He is a worthy opponent. He teaches you that just because you beat Moog doesn't mean that you've basically won the game. Your ass is going to need to get even better. Also, pick up a bunch of bullshit off the ground or some shit. Get even stronger, apparently. I guess. Anyway. Swab. Anyway. They're a good boss fight. They're not as good as you, because even though this guy does have some pretty good lore stuff, like, literally, this is two guys who are doing a traditional dance, kicking your ass. You can literally wear the head of this costume and trick an old lady into thinking that you're them, which is really mean, really mean. Like, holy shit, you're an asshole. But still, pretty cool. I like it. I think it's a cool boss fight. I'll put him here. He's neat. Okay. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Melania with the Sword of Night and Flame. She's fast. She attacks very fast. When she pulls out the Sword of Night and Flame, her attacks are even stronger, and now you can't even like try and outrange her because now she's got actual like range. Also, she has Carrion Phalanx. She feels like a Renala 2, except better because she's actually fighting you and not bullshit, and you spawn right outside of her arena rather than an entire marathon away. I think she's a good boss. Her lore's a little stinky because of everything involving this fucker, but we'll go on her. But but I think it's pretty cool. She's cool. I'm not gonna put her here, but she's definitely cool. Making me reconsider your position. Okay, now where next? Before we get to you, talk about some side bosses. First off, fuck you. This man's like any charging boss is a bitch to deal with because they can just because you can't dodge through them because they're too long. You can't dodge back because they'll get you. You can't dodge to the sides because they'll turn around. This guy is a bitch and a half. I'm convinced that they have a slight bit of funky geometry with the walls so you can cheese them intentionally. This boss fight brought me to anger. I hate Commander Gaius. I don't even care that this guy, I guess was a friend to Radon, I guess. Which we never got any idea of. Which, all that says is that... Who the fuck are you? What the fuck? Who the fuck are all these guys? You get it. That just means that he befriends Albinorics, but it doesn't matter. This guy sucks. And that kind of sucks too because I kind of like that he's literally hard rider type shit. Anyway, this guy, Sunflower, racist Sunflower, the homophobic Sunflower that calls you slurs. This is him. He's kind of annoying, genuinely. His attacks are fine, but his hitbox is all over the place. It's really wonk. Trust me, this guy is fucking bitch. His big explosion attack is kind of stupid because he explodes at the... His explosion doesn't match up with the animation, so... Fuck. You know, yeah. And also the 3 times the first. He has 3 health bars, which is annoying. Look, I don't like him. He's like this. He's a gimmick in boss fight, but he's not these guys terrible. Next up, the Putrescent Knight. You know, this guy's called the Glowmite Queen in the files, which not Glowmite Queen, Glowmite Knight, which you can kind of see. Anyway, look, Orphan of Kos is riding on a horse that escaped the glue factory, and now he's fighting you. This man is literally just a bunch of rotten flesh, melted flesh that just congealed into this, and it's like, I eepy, give me melatonin, and he does go to sleep. Like I, who need to go to sleep soon. By the way, this stream was completely out of nowhere. I just started doing this and was like, man, I want to do that. I was gonna play World of Warcraft, but then now I'm doing this. Anyway, he's pretty okay. He can be a little fucky, trust me, but he's not bad. Some of the lore related to Saint Trina that has nothing to do with him is cool, but I'm not gonna relate to him. He's okay. Gaining him is a bitch and a half, though. I like that you literally close your eyes, you'll be here soon to get to him. Okay, this might be the Glowmite Queen because of a bunch of stuff, involving like, oh well, the symbol for the Godskin is a finger. By the way, finger slaying Godskin, wearing the skin of a finger. You know who also slays fingers? Ronnie, who is partially related somehow, in some way, to Melina. And Melina is suspected to be the Glowmite Queen. So what's the deal? I don't know. I like that this guy was like the Elden Beast before the Elden Beast. Except, like, God stopped talking to her, so she got pissed. There's an animation that's like... Hold on. There's a video where she's like, brother, may I have some loops? No, sister. Please, brother. Look, it's the whole thing. Astrobot. Astrobot. I love this fucking little profile, a little picture that Zulu did. Like, this is cute. Like, just like, I fuck with Astrobot. Look at this cute little version of me. That's adorable. Alright, anyway. They're a cool boss. Getting them is a little bit of a pain to walk there, and also actually unlocking them is bullshit, but whatever. The boss fights need, it's try your hardest to stay in front of her. Do not get the side of her, else she's gonna start fingering you, and that's not good. We gotta look for prints. No, fingerprints. I don't think so. Some of her boss is a little bit fucky, but I think she is a cool boss. She's not too much though, but cool. Kind of out of nowhere in some ways, but still cool. Gonna get an explanation kind of to all those fingers shit, but also showing the connection between faith and intelligence more firmly. And beating her gives you the ability to use a catalyst that does both. So I'll put her here. She's cool. Yeah. Okay. Midra. Their lore is cool. We learn. that one, Frenzy Flame can burn curses as well as spirits, which is why Torn doesn't want to be in this area. Two, the Hornsend, who are obviously all about the spirits, are like pissed off because, man, why you gotta burn away the spirits? We're gonna kill you. They crucify this man and shove a fucking spear through him, which, after he decides that the Frenzy Flame is not the way to go, he decides to stay there with a big spear through his body for about 400 years. For over 400 years. And then he decides, fuck it. Whips it out of his head, and then suddenly, hey, remember you at the end of the Frenzy Flame boss fight? That's him. You're fighting him. Which, good. That's a good idea. Of all the bosses we got in the DLC, this is one of the best. Because it gave, there are a few bosses that gave answers, rather than adding more questions. This is one of them. Because we're like, man, it'd be so cool if we fought a Lord of Frenzy. Fraught? For frauding with him? I don't know, he's an old man. Anyway. He's cool. He's also very skinny. He's a little bit fucky, but, and also, Frenzy Flame, but honestly, he is a good boss. It's cool to actually be on the receiving end of the Lord of Frenzy. It is very cool. I like this boss. I fuck with it. I feel like he's the low end of all these guys, but still. Okay, let's talk about Mesmer. I dislike Mesmer from mainly a lore standpoint, because this guy feels like an ad-lib, a last-minute inclusion. Like, it feels like there was a large change-up. Like, they intended to have the Glowmite Queen be the focus of a DLC, but that didn't end up happening. So they had to make this character that has the mommy complex that Morgott has. He's got the powers and background of Melania. He's got the background of being a child of Marika and Radagon, of Melania and Mikola. He's also got the curses. He kind of looks like them. He's got fire powers, which is what Melina had. He's basically got everything. He's got the abyssal snake that Rykard has. He's meant to kind of harken back to the imagery of Longinus, the Roman soldier who impaled Jesus Christ. Which, considering that America has a lot of crucifixion imagery, you think they would kind of bring it up, but no, that's kind of just there. He's kind of like, I don't know, he's vaguely Dracula inspired, but it is really end up being nothing. Everything about him feels like last minute. Like, I know that they write lore by basically saying, alright, George R. R. Martin, write some cool shit. And he's like, I've written a large lore that spans hundreds of years, deep, and surrounds families, dynasties. You would need a book the size of my own book series to understand it. And Miyazaki says, cool, okay, all the characters are dead, and here's them. But, like, you kind of don't have room to make some shit happen if Melina is, like, yeah. Like, we know there was something involving Melina and the Glowmite Queen because of the fact that neither of those characters appear in the DLC, and the only reference to the Glowmite Queen is the fact that the Putrescent Knight is named the Glowmite Knight in the game files. The only other reference to Melina is some image item description that mentions that he has the power of fire like his sister, which kind of spells out that yes, they are related, and that yes, this is true, but does nothing with that. Feels like all the bosses that have to do with him are out of nowhere. Like, we didn't have any idea that Radon would have a friend who was also into gravity magics and was an Almanoric. Even though this does play on ideas set by St. Trina and such, there really was no need for that. We didn't know that Renala had a sister who gave up her position to go on a crusade, even though we kind of got some indication that she might have had a sister, but there wasn't a need for it. And neither was this guy. This guy's entire position in lore is stupid. And despite the fact that the whole DLC is supposed to be about him, and that we see a land that had been ravaged by a crusade that he led, the DLC isn't really about him. He's a mid boss. You beat him to show that you're able to beat bosses in the DLC. He is such a waste. Even though his boss fight gameplay is fine, he is nothing. He is a cacophony of nothing burgers. Also, he goes blind in the second phase after unleashing the thing he was hiding. Just like I fucking hate this boss. Not because of gameplay, not because of bullshit, repetitivity, repetition, but because the lore is a massive letdown. Okay, two more. I like that we see that, there was a time when Scarlet Watt was a divine thing, which we kind of got ideas of. We got a few things from her. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. Honestly, I don't have much to say about her. She's neat. Uh, I'm tired. The melatonin is kicking in. We need to wrap this up. Here, have her at like middle row. Her thing's a little fucky, but trust me anyway. How do I do this? They are genuinely a great boss, and everything about them is good, including the lore. Yeah. I don't think I need to tell you. The boss fight is great. Aside from visual fuckies, which not the worst in the game, you just gotta learn to deal with them. Though, if you have photosensitivity, I am very sorry. I think it's very mean that it basically flashbangs you and makes you unable to play. For your sake, I'm sorry. Otherwise, the boss is cool. I like the concept that Mikola is going so far to try and bring a world of kindness that he's literally forcing Radon against his will to be his lord and putting him in the body of Moog, who he also forced against his will to be enamored with him. It shows how despicable Mikola really is. And how that, in his attempt to try and bring a kinder world, he ends up being just like his mother, who tried to make a kinder world after all the horrors that were brought on the shaman village by the Horn Sense, and she ended up doing the exact same thing. There's a lot of interesting things about Divinity when it comes to this boss fight. A lot of deep elements that I'm too tired to talk about. I spoke to my Intro to World Religion professor, and I told him about it. And he was like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." And yeah, this is in fact a cool boss. It is fun. It is neat. Genuinely, I'd be stupid not to put him here. But there's one more boss. One of the coolest bosses. Bale the Dread. He would go about here. This is how you do a Dragon Ball. Right? Everything this guy shows. First off, explaining that the reason why Dragon Communion exists. The fact that they're basically that they decide that ancient dragons decided that they wanted to kill all of all of the all of the drakes. Maybe the maybe the dragon god in question was actually Kendrick Lamar. Ha ha ha. After Bale tried to kill Placido Sax, and we can see two of Placido Sax's heads still on Bale. Bale is worse off than Placido Sax as he has lost both of his wings. Both of his arms are fucked up, and one of them has been fashioned into a sword, and one of his legs is gone. But also, two of Placido Sax's heads are still biting into his neck, which means that his fire is now imbued with ancient dragon lightning, which makes him so cool. He is genuinely a cool boss fight. Holy shit, this guy's awesome. He's peak. It feels like you're fighting one of the hardest enemies from a Monster Hunter game. This man is sheerly legendary. Also, Egon is cool. Holy shit. I'm not giving much commentary, aren't I? Yeah, I'm getting tired. So, it's been an hour and 31 minutes. I think we'll wrap this up. I'll think about how I sound with a male voice instead. And I'll decide if I want to do this or if I want to go back to doing, lighter voice. Whimsical. Yippee! Or deep. Or a deep, kind of sensual voice. Anyway. Thanks for dropping by, chat. I've been Puffy. See you around.